I've always noticed one big flaw with Minecraft whenever the 4th of July comes around, and that is Minecraft fireworks. I mean, they're just kind of lame. They don't go very high, they don't explode very big. And I've tried to solve that issue by adding my own fireworks, and these ones are just a little better. Um, and you're not limited to gunpowder or firework stars because there are color pickers and you can select your velocities and such. And that's all thanks to this little block right here. But real quick, I'd like to ask if y'all would comment, like, or subscribe. That would be very much appreciated. These videos take a while to make, especially the mods for them, and anything helps. Alright guys, now I'm going to show you how to create your own fireworks and what everything in the GUI means. So first what you'll want to do is go in the creative mode inventory, scroll over to the next tab. I forgot to set the lang file and image here, but it's got the firework cake in this. And then you're going to want to place it down. And then you'll want to shift right click on the firework cake, and that'll tell the GUI that you open up with F7 what what block you are going to edit here. Um, and so So you place it down, you shift right click, press F7, and it brings up your block here. I have three different tabs here. I have the rocket body, the rocket explosion, and the rocket trail. The rocket body is the part that shoots up into the air. You see that? And then the rocket explosion is what is shown as it uh, after the rocket body disappears. So that's the explosion there. And then the rocket trail is, as you can tell probably, the trail that comes off of all these particles. And let's start off with the rocket body and see what's in here. So you can say use trail. If you check that off, it won't have a trail, it'll just be a single particle going up. But if you have that set on, then you will have a nice trail coming off of that. Next, we have a bunch of color pickers here. This one's the start color. This is the end color. We don't talk about rand color and range. It doesn't do anything. The start transparency and end transparency dictates how transparent the body particle will be as it goes up. So it'll start at 100% transparency and end at 0% transparency. The start scale and end scale is this basically the same as transparency, except it dictates how big the particle will be. So this is maximum size, um, and then it'll go to 0. If you have both transparencies all the way up, then you will see that particle is always going to be fully opaque, but it will scale down to 0. The lifetime dictates how long the particle will be in the world in game ticks. So each unit here is 1/20th of a second, if you didn't know how long a Minecraft tick was already. So that'll go up for 41 ticks and then explode. So 2 seconds and a 20th of a second. The gravity obviously dictates the gravity of the particle. If you set it to 10, it's going to be really high gravity. Notice how it started falling down. If you set it to 0, then, well, it's just going to go up so fast. You can change that if you set the acceleration here is how the particle will accelerate each second. So if you set it to 0, it'll just start with this velocity, and you'll see it goes up at a constant speed. But if you give it a bit of acceleration here, it will speed up much faster, as you can see. The random offset is pretty self-explanatory. If you have it at 2, when it spawns in, it'll offset to a bunch of locations. It's better shown if I have the scale at a reasonable value. Um, so that's probably pretty good. You can see it spawns It can spawn like anywhere in a 2.5 radius around this, so I wouldn't recommend having that very high, but it does add a bit of variation to your fireworks shots. If you turn it down all the way, then it'll always spawn in the exact same spot and go up out of the thing. So, yeah. All right. Next, I think we should move on to the rocket explosion here. It's got a lot of the same things as the rocket body. It's got used trail, so you can see none of them use trails, and you just get kind of a lame explosion, but whatever floats your boat, you can do whatever you want. You can choose the colors here, just like before. If I can choose some bright colors here, and then rain color range, same thing as before, does nothing. Start transparency, end transparency, this is all the same, this is all the same, this is the same, but repulsion range and repulsion lifetime are not very self-explanatory. So, repulsion range dictates the range from the center in blocks, I'm pretty sure, where the particles will be pushed away from that center. They'll be accelerated away from it. Um, and then the repulsion lifetime is how long that repulsion range will be affecting the particles. So if you have the repulsion lifetime super high, then a particle might come up and then back down and hit the radius where where it's still repulsing away the particles, and it'll like bounce off and look really weird. So I wouldn't have this too high. Particle count, pretty self-explanatory. It's just how many particles you want in an explosion. I wouldn't recommend having very many. You really don't need that many. If you're gonna have like 400, I wouldn't recommend having a trail on it, or at least having a trail that has a lot of particles, because that multiplies very quickly. Because if each particle has a trail of 10 particles, it's gonna be a lot more than just 400. So I think they look pretty fine if you just have like 50 or 60. But once again, whatever floats your boat. If you have too many particles, Lodestone will automatically delete them. That's the library I use for the particles, so it'll look strange if you have too many. Um, and yeah, I guess that is about it for the rocket explosion. And finally, we have the rocket trail. I mean, this has all the generics from before. Still doesn't do anything. Um, and yeah, I like to give this a big offset because it kind of looks more crackly. And then if I have a bit larger particles here, you get a, oh, hold on. None, the start one didn't use it. Let me change that real quick. And then I want maybe like a red to yellow. So it just interpolates from this color to this color um, during the lifetime. So yeah, I mean you get a nice red to kind of yellowy. Uh, I like the particles kind of scattering behind it. It's very like it gives more of a crackly effect. Um, and then usually I like to give the rocket explosion. These are the particles that start out from the explosion. I like to give them like a large scale and then a bit lower transparency throughout. And then you get a much nicer, like you get kind of a glow effect from it. As you can see, you get like that nice glow, and I really like that. But once again, whatever you want, you can do. So if I spawn 400, it might look a little strange. Yeah, it's more of a bomb than anything else at that point. Uh, you could probably, uh, yeah, I guess that's maybe I can showcase the weird repulsion lifetime thing, but maybe not. It's kind of hard to see there. Yeah, I guess that's about it. I hope y'all enjoy the mod and enjoy the fireworks. I think this will be good for any servers you're hosting or anything, and you want like a cool fireworks show for one of your events. I think that'd be perfect for that. Or if you just want to play around with it. Uh, that's it. I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all's day or night, and I'll see y'all later.